KWTV 9, the spirit of Oklahoma.
Now, the #1 rated newscast in Oklahoma with Patty Suarez, Phil Teagan Sports, and Gary England with the weather. This is Newsline 9.
A terrifying ordeal for two Yukon women lucky to be alive tonight. They were tricked, then kidnapped and robbed. The prime suspect is an escaped convict who has admitted raping and kidnapping a woman before. And tonight, he's still on the loose. Newsline 9's Dave Balut has more from our newsroom. Dave?
Mitch, one of the kidnapped victims told me she might not have gotten into this mess, but she had just finished reading a magazine article about a Good Samaritan, and she thought she'd give it a try when the opportunity presented itself. Because she did try to help, there's even more to talk about than usual at the Curls and Swirls Salon in Yukon. But owner Linda Perry wishes she had a happier tale to tell. She's just relieved it's over. The ordeal began when Perry went to pick up a 90-year-old customer of hers who lives at the Ranchwood nursing home. Perry decided to help a young man there who asked for a ride. He said he had to meet his wife, whose car had just broken down. He climbed into Perry's back seat.
Pretty soon he hit the back of my seat and he said, "I have a .45 at your back. Don't do anything. I'm an escaped convict. Don't try anything. I will hit the old lady." And I said, "Oh no, please don't do that." He said,
she never saw a gun, but Perry says the man choked her and took $95. About an hour later, he let the 90-year-old woman out in War Acres, and when Perry threatened to jump out, he slowed down and let her out too. But he took off in her car. Amazingly, she says she saw him again about a half hour later.
and we got right up beside of him, and I rolled the window down on the pickup, and I said, "Get out of my car!" And he looked at me like, "I don't believe this woman." And my husband made him pull off to the side of the road. We ran him off the road.
But he got away and may still be driving Perry's car, a white 1986 Lincoln Continental with red interior, tag number UNY 500. Authorities are still looking for a black man in his early 20s, 5'4", 150 pounds. Police say the suspect's description matches an inmate who just escaped from a community treatment center in Lawton. Albert Ray Johnson, Jr. is serving a 10-year sentence for robbing and raping a woman in the ladies' room at this fast food restaurant, then kidnapping her. It happened in March 1983. Authorities are looking for him again.
Has abducted two ladies, and if they'll do it to them, they'll do it to anybody. And the person needs to be stopped right now.
After being in custody for 7 years, Johnson had only 6 months left to serve when he escaped. Patty?
Thank you, Dave. A member of the Oklahoma National Guard is accused of taking the government for a ride. The guardsman is suspected of stealing about $10,000 worth of tires and tools from the 700th Support Battalion in Oklahoma City. Investigators believe the officer has been selling stolen tires to area businesses and individuals for at least 4 years. Officials suspect as many as a dozen other people may be involved in that theft. One man is dead and 2 police officers injured following a drug raid in southwest Oklahoma City. 41-year-old Guadalupe Ruiz was lying on his couch when officers burst through his door. Police say Ruiz pulled a gun from under the sofa. When 2 officers tried to take away the pistol, it went off. The officers received minor injuries in the struggle. Ruiz reportedly managed to point a gun at police, and that's when officers started shooting. Ruiz died at the scene. The officers have been routinely suspended following a review board.
The family of kidnapped victim Whitney Morris is trying to straighten out the confusion created by reports of a reward offered for her safe return. Danny Warden, who gave police the tip that solved the case, says he's been unable to collect. A family spokesman says a fund was created to raise money for a reward, but Whitney was found before any significant amount was donated. But Warden's entitled to it, the spokesman says, and it will be given to him. Rural hospitals are on the critical list across the country. Here in Oklahoma, 8 small-town hospitals have been forced to close in the last 6 years. They just can't make enough money to offset rising costs. It was the same story in Thomas. Last summer, the hospital had only 3 patients the entire month of June, and the doors closed at the end of the month. Well, today, the hospital is open again and doing much better. Townsfolk pulled together and raised $250,000 to save their hospital.
When people believe in something for their community enough that they will fork over dollars out of their pocket, you know, it's hard to deny what the evidence is of the obligation that the hospital has to the community.
While other small towns may have to do the same sort of thing to save their hospitals, the federal government is becoming less and less willing to help bail out struggling rural hospitals.
Water rationing has been in effect for 2 days now, and so far residents have been pretty good, we understand, about complying. Although a few people did get a warning today about watering on the wrong day.
If you have an odd number address, you can only water it on odd number days of the month. Okay? And then there's no watering at all between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. Most of the time, the customers just aren't aware that we are rationing water. It's usually within the first couple of days of when we initiated the program. They're just not aware of it. So they're usually very apologetic and very cooperative.
The first offense is usually free. The second will cost you a minimum of $70. Authorities say they take a lot of complaints from neighbors who call in to report those who ignore the water schedule. And if you're not sure what the schedule is, here's a reminder. All watering and car washing is banned every day between 5 and 10 p.m. At other times, residents with odd-numbered addresses may water on odd-numbered days, those with even-numbered addresses on even-numbered days. The mandatory rationing is in effect for all those north of 50th Street in Oklahoma City.
Who would have guessed that after all that rain we had this spring?
So soon.
Oklahoma weather. Well, it's Friday night. We have made it. See, Gary is going to give us his favorite forecast coming up.
He will. Plus, would you believe lawnmowers that fly?
And some clever chefs cook up something special to help put an end to the broccoli Cold War.
Just ahead, tragedy strikes another Houston factory, killing more than a dozen.
You know, for 6 years running, Plymouth Voyager has been America's best-selling minivan. Compared to Chevy Lumina, Voyager has more legroom. Lumina, tight squeeze. Leaving Voyager, that's easy. Leaving Lumina, well, that takes a bit of doing. And Voyager costs a lot less. No wonder it outsells Lumina 4-1. Advantage Plymouth.
Come to our annual independence sale at Johnson's of Kingfisher and Chickasha, your Dodge Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
All your life, you've been lean and mean. You needed everything in Gatorade. But times change. That's why there's new Gatorade Light Thirst Quencher. Because you still need those fluids and minerals. But you definitely don't need as many calories. New Gatorade Light. Low sodium, low calories. Because you'll always be mean. We just want to help you stay lean. New Gatorade Light.
Positive Energy is actively protecting and preserving our environment. It's working hard to generate new jobs, meeting industry prospects with reasons to locate in our state. And it's energy conservation, educating Oklahomans with ways to use electricity more efficiently. Positive Energy is making Oklahoma's future the brightest it can be. Positive Energy is OG&E.
The summer sale out is the biggest sale of the year at Fred Jones Lincoln Mercury. This is the time when we discount the price on every new 1990 Lincoln and Mercury in stock. We don't hold back anything. All of our luxury cars are included, of course. So your price for a loaded Lincoln Town car is just $22,977. It's the car of the year. And the summer sale out price of a new Lincoln Continental is only $23,977. Get the big summer sale out savings now at Fred Jones Lincoln Mercury, downtown at 4th and North Walker.
President Bush and the other Western leaders wrapped up their NATO summit in London today. As Mr. Bush left London, he proclaimed there would be a, quote, major transformation in the North Atlantic Alliance. The president's proposals for major military cuts in Western Europe were approved with little opposition from the other countries. Also today, an invitation to Soviet President Gorbachev to attend the next NATO meeting. In Houston, Texas, they're talking broccoli instead of nuclear weapons. President Bush flew there late today, and he is there now for next week's economic summit. Some chefs there are bent on getting the president to try broccoli, his least favorite dish. Today, the chefs unveiled 3 top-secret broccoli dishes that they say will go a long way toward ending the broccoli Cold War. Visitors to San Francisco's Union Square were treated to something special today. It was the Barbershop Quartet Convention, made up of 5,000 voices. This year, the sellout convention attracted groups from the Soviet Union, England, Austria, and New Zealand. The spotlight was on the 52-year-old Society for the Prevention and Encouragement of Barbershop Quartet Singing in America. The society was begun in Tulsa in 1938 by 2 businessmen who were worried that their favorite kind of music would be overwhelmed by the movies and the phonograph. This year's competition was made up of groups numbering anywhere from 4 to 54. The finals will be tomorrow night.
When it comes to symphonic music, the sound of music has replaced the sound of discord in Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma City Philharmonic is getting ready for its second season. Advanced ticket sales are way ahead of last season, and the conductor says there's harmony among the players in the Philharmonic.
The new orchestra is happy because, of course, for someone who's got another full-time job, the additional income and the chance to play in a major symphony orchestra is a lot of fun.
Meanwhile, rehearsals are underway for Lyric Theater's upcoming production of Mame, and the cast includes a familiar face. Our own Patty Suarez is in the title role.
She has a nice authority about her, which is really nice. It's a strength for the kids to look up to, and it's a strength that the show needs because Auntie Mame is never off the stage.
Well, Mame opens at Lyric Theater on July 17th. Patty, it's coming up quickly.
It is, too quickly.
You started rehearsing last night, all right?
No, 3 days now. This was our third day, and we're it's a lot of fun.
Your leading man looked a little shorter than you, is it?
That's to whom I am Auntie Mame.
I
That's
see,
Patrick
okay.
Dennis. That's my nephew in the play.
Well, I've got my tickets. I'm ready
good,
to see it.
good.
It'd be fun. We're going to take a look at Gary's forecast in a moment.
Hey, Oklahoma, Tom Park back this Friday evening here at Lenicky Dodge. Actually, I'm across the street from our dealership here at 39th and North May because we've sold so many cars and trucks. We've taken in an enormous amount of trade-ins, nowhere to put them, so we're forced to move them over to this lot. Got to mark them down to move them out this weekend. Let me show you how we're doing that. It's called group pricing on a lot of these cars. Over 20 1989 Dodge Spirits. Now, all of these are sale priced at $89.50. Your choice at $173 a month, including the tag, title, and tax loaded. Automatic, air conditioning, stereo, and more for $89.50. Or take your choice. I've got over 50 1990 Shadows with the front-wheel drive, the airbag, the automatic air conditioning, stereo, and more. All your choice at only $89.50. Make that $83.88. Your choice. Tomorrow, Saturday, here at Lenicky Dodge. Every one of them, same price. Dynasty's at $99.50. So whatever you're looking for, take advantage of our volume selling tomorrow at Lenicky Dodge.
Positive energy is actively protecting and preserving our environment. It's working hard to generate new jobs, meeting industry prospects with reasons to locate in our state. And it's energy conservation, educating Oklahomans with ways to use electricity more efficiently. Positive energy is making Oklahoma's future the brightest it can be. Positive energy is OG&E.
You know the kind, they're always meddling in your business.
I remember one time she told me, where are the socks on the baby?
Every time I've sat down and tried to talk to you in a positive manner, you get mad.
No,
Yes.
you don't sit down and talk. You dictate.
I can't shop for Lisa. Put that down, that ain't you, that's two, da-da-da. And I can't say that somewhere.
See, I can only take so much and I hit you.
Busybodies and the people, they're driving crazy on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
Monday at 3 on TV9.
An Eastern Airlines jetliner had to make an emergency landing this morning in Philadelphia after being battered by hailstones. The fiberglass nose of the DC-9 was shattered as the aircraft flew through a hailstorm shortly after takeoff. The pilot was able to land the plane safely, and none of the 42 passengers were injured a bit.
See the windscreen on that?
Yeah, I'm not flying with that guy.
Or through that storm.
Through that storm.
Hailstorm, yeah.
Somebody might not have told him there was hail in that area.
Well, that's a possibility.
We just don't know.
I won't comment on that. That's a distinct possibility. Maybe I will fly with him. Okay, 10 p.m. in Oklahoma City. Right now, 86. Winds are southeast at 8. Humidity, 52%. Barometric pressure, 29.99. It is rising. We had a few thunderstorms in the state today. 3 or 4. Some lightning strikes. Not too much going on. Humidity increased. Moisture increased in the atmosphere, so the temperatures came down in many parts of Oklahoma. Still a little on the hot side. And the moisture content is going to stay up over the weekend. Temperatures will be down a little bit compared to what we've had, but heat index will be high. So kind of a trade-off there. It just leaves us about where we were. So we'll have warm nights. Now, early morning around sunrise will be nice, wonderful, and mild. So warm nights, mild about sunrise, then we'll have hot afternoons. Southerly winds up to 25 miles per hour in western Oklahoma, 10 to 20 here in central sections, and other than that and elsewhere, no significant change indicated. On the mold, it's jumped up 34 and 89, 34, 89. Pollen stays down low at 146. Record high, 105. We had a 96, a normal's a 93. We're down 4 degrees from yesterday. At least that's good news. That's a significant change. Heat index today, though, was up around 100, 101, some areas of the metropolitan area. Okay, cool in the northeast. Up at Miami, Oklahoma, 76. 80 at Idabel, 83 at Durant, and 86 at Ponca City. We'll check the west. It's 86 in Woodward, 88 Aldous, 89 in the Lawton area. We'll check it up on top. There's a jet stream, and with the jet stream normally goes most of the major weather, and it's obviously a little ways from Oklahoma, far to our north. This is what we call the monsoon season out in parts of Arizona, western New Mexico, and western Colorado. A lot of moisture comes up from the southwest, hits the mountains, and causes the showers and thunderstorms. That's going to continue again tomorrow. And for us, big-time high-pressure area over us. It has gotten a little bit smaller, not quite as strong, but here's the flow covering a good part of the country down into the Gulf of Mexico. Tropical disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico, and it is moving towards South Texas, and going to bring some fairly heavy rains in there. And also for Oklahoma, we'll at least have a chance for an isolated thunderstorm or two tomorrow. Now, you folks in western Oklahoma, on Sunday, a little bit better chance. On Sunday, western sections, 20% chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Still no sign of a general rain pattern unless one of these tropical disturbances come up. But in about 7 days, a week from tomorrow, we're getting a hint that there may be some changes in the pattern. We might get a little bit wetter. Not a promise, but just a hint that might happen. Okay, from, let's go back Kansas City all the way down to the south of Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida tomorrow. Hot and humid, sticky. Heat index will be high, 97 in Dallas, and not much change in here the next few days. Cool in the northeast. New York City, 78. And Billings, Montana, 79, 89. Nice in Denver. Thunder in the mountains out to our west again. San Francisco, a little warmer, 75. 5-day outlook. It looks reasonable. The humidity will be up, though, but we'll call it mid to upper 90s here in central Oklahoma. On the forecast for the state for tonight, warm in the 70s. For tomorrow, partly sunny. We call it a hot afternoon tomorrow. A few thunderstorms around. Highs in the 90s. And for Oklahoma City and vicinity. Warm tonight. Hot tomorrow afternoon. Wind southerly 10 to 20. Low 74. A high of about 96. And it is most definitely Friday night in the big town. It's been a long week. I know for Mitch and I. Were you gone too, weren't you?
No,
We worked 2 days.
I was here. Oh, you guys, yeah.
We have had it rough.
Well, the rest of us were here.
Well, you know, the weather can change pretty rapidly. You going to stick around tonight and make sure nothing pops up?
Yeah, baby, I'm out of here.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Gary. Just ahead, a Christian Science couple convicted in the death of their son now know their fate.
But first, another deadly explosion in Texas kills more than a dozen.
Hi, folks. Tom Park back this Friday evening. Across the street from Lynn Hickey Dodge. Still have some inventory over here because of the trade-ins we've been taking in. We got to move them out, folks. Get our lot back in order. We're taking in a lot of different kinds of trade-ins as well. The unusual, like this boat and trailer right here. $2,950 for a ski boat. Tomorrow Saturday, you could be skiing tomorrow afternoon in your new boat from Lynn Hickey Dodge. Or how about a motorhome? Yeah, we took this in trade here recently. It's a Trans Van motorhome, $4,950. Prices aren't low enough for you. Make us an offer tomorrow Saturday. Mercedes-Benz. This is a 78 Mercedes 450 SEL. Price to move out tomorrow Saturday. Or 300ZX. What do we have over here, Johnny? 84 Nissan 300ZX, $6,950. These are only examples of the kind of trade-ins we're taking in and the kind of low prices you can expect tomorrow Saturday right here at Lynn Hickey Dodge.
A few years ago, it was Bill Price who founded a statewide drug education program to help our young people and our schools. In this year's primary, only Bill Price has a program for school reform. His opponents do not.
The governor must help create a future for our children. To me, that's the most important part of the job.
On school reform, Bill Price believes in higher standards, not higher taxes. Bill Price, governor. He'll make a difference.
Why do I like Ford so much? Several reasons. Quality.
Hey, nobody builds them better. That's why Ford has the most repeat buyers. Value. Ford offers preferred equipment packages, so you get all the features you want, and you save a lot of money. And service. The Oklahoma Country Ford dealers take pride in the way they treat their customers. They know you can't be loyal unless you're completely satisfied. See your Oklahoma Country Ford dealer today. The best never rests.
The death toll is in from that chemical plant explosion near Houston. 17 people lost their lives. The blast occurred last night at the Atlantic Richfield Company plant in Channelview, Texas. The explosion covered a city block-sized area, and the resulting fire took 4 hours to contain. The blast sent workers running.
We were running through the mud, climbing, hurdling fences to get out of there.
It felt like a thunderstorm sitting right next to me is what it felt like.
The 17 people who died and 5 who were injured were working in a utilities area when a waste tank exploded. No word yet on what sparked the mishap. Just last month, 2 other explosions at area plants injured 7 people.
There is a battle in Louisiana tonight over the most restrictive abortion bill in the country. Louisiana House passed the bill last week, and as promised, Governor Buddy Roemer vetoed the measure this morning. Then, late tonight, the House voted to override the veto. Louisiana Senate is expected to do the same. The bill permits an abortion only to save the mother's life. Governor Roemer wanted to allow abortions in cases of rape and incest as well. In Boston today, a couple were sentenced to 10 years probation for allowing their 2.5-year-old son to die. David and Ginger Twitchell were convicted earlier this week of involuntary manslaughter. The couple relied solely on prayer to cure their son, who died of a bowel obstruction in 1986. The Twitchells were also ordered today to take their surviving children for regular medical checkups.
There's concern tonight that the move to help our nation's homeless is weakening. In San Francisco this morning, police stormed the Civic Center Plaza and told the homeless to either leave or be arrested. Last night, a crowd of homeless people marched on a newly opened San Francisco shelter, demanding a place to stay, but they were told there was no extra room. But at another shelter, beds were available. The city's mayor says there is help for those who want it.
Before I became a politician and I was still a human being, I worked as a social worker. I never, ever forget what it is that those people need.
Well, evidence of declining sympathy for the homeless may best be seen here. Crews cleaning up the reminders, I should say, that San Francisco's main square was home to the homeless for the past 2 years. Still to come on Late Edition Sports, Whitey Herzog says goodbye to the Cardinals.
Plus, the Oklahoma City Twisters get ready to take on the Moscow Bears. Bill Tegans is next.
I've been the TV spokesman for Southwest Ford now for over 5 years, and I hear the same thing everywhere I go. Oh, I got a great deal. Boy, they treated me royally. Why, I couldn't be happier. The reason I get to meet people like that is because of people like these. The staff and management of Southwest Ford, a group of professionals with one goal in mind to make sure our customers are completely satisfied with their car or truck. At Southwest Ford, we work hard to win your trust. We work even harder to keep it.
Come to Oklahoma City and Southwest Ford.
Oh, yeah, now. It's the right fit now.
Thanks for fun. Well, just ahead on News Team 4, a look at the latest in pest control.
Pet owners may have found the answer to flea and tick problems. The newest thing in bug zapping when News Team 4 continues.
When my sister called, she sounded worried.
I'm glad you could make it.
Did you say you wanted a boy dog or a girl dog?
Girl.
You said you wanted one with spots, did you?
I want the dog that has white with black spots.
Yeah. Didn't you have a name also?
Oh, yeah, Molly.
The Southwestern Bell Yellow Pages, where people get what they want.
This Ball Camp catalog is free at your Napa Auto Parts stores, and you can order any one item at 20% off. This Ball Camp catalog contains pictures and information about lawn care, garden, household, marine, auto parts, and accessories. These car ramps are on sale. They're only $23.45. And this Legend 75-month battery is only $54.95. Get these and your free Ball Camp catalog at your participating Napa Auto Parts stores, the professional mechanic stores, and yours too. Napa, because there are no unimportant parts.
Bill has all the Friday night sports.
We're going to talk baseball to begin with on this summer night. Whitey Herzog, considered one of the best managers in all of baseball. Today, he decided he'd seen enough, though, of the St. Louis Cardinals. After 10 years on the job, he quit. Red Schoendienst takes over. Whitey says he's responsible, but he sure wasn't happy with the team's effort.
I had kind of made up my mind after the 3 games we played in San Francisco. I was totally embarrassed the way my ball club played up there, and I just think that we've underachieved. I don't think I've done a good job as a manager this year. I really just can't get the guys to play, and I think anybody could do a better job than me.
Betty ends up in Kansas City. Padres lead the Cardinals in the 5th 2-1, so Reds not having any better luck there. Montreal over Houston 3-2. Cincinnati defeated the Phillies. The Mets beat the Braves. Pittsburgh leading L.A. in the 2nd. No score on the Cubs-Giants in the 2nd. Boy, you talk about some bad luck. Andy Hawkins of the Yankees pitched the no-hitter last week and lost. Tonight pitched 11 shutout innings and lost again. Is he on a bad team or what? The Twins beat him 2-0 with 2 runs in the 12th inning tonight. Another American League game tonight. The Rangers jump out to an early lead against Boston. Julio Franco, the shot to center. Kevin Romine misjudges that one. Gino Petralli motors around the bases and beats the throw. Rafael Palmeiro has been hitting very well this year, getting some RBIs. Got 2 in this base hit. They're now in the 7th inning. The Rangers are on top by a 4-0 score. Let's go to the scoreboard again. In the second game of that doubleheader, the Yankees lead it in the 8th. Oakland got 7 homers in the second game. That is 6-1 Cleveland in the first game and 12-1, not 112, but 12-1. Detroit beat Kansas City 4-0. Toronto over Seattle. Baltimore losing to Chicago in the 9th. California leads Milwaukee in the 7th. Texas, as we said, ahead in the 7th 4-0. In AAA, Derek Lilliquist did it to the 89ers tonight. Richmond beat them 4-1. It'll be Boris Becker and Stefan Edberg in the men's finals at Wimbledon. That, of course, means Yvonne Lendel's goal and dream of a Wimbledon title remains on hold again this year. Lendl lost to Stefan Edberg, a former Wimbledon champion who played a terrific match today. He rushed the net when he had to, stayed back on the baseline when he had to, but he won it in straight sets. Lendl did not play very well, and Edberg swept the victory 6-1, 7-6, and 6-3 the scores. Second match, Becker defeated an 18-year-old from Yugoslavia, Joran Ivazinovic. Both played emotional tennis today. Becker lost the first set, came storming back to take the next 3. The men will play their championship on Sunday. The women's title between Zina Garrison and Martina Navratilova will be decided tomorrow. Tomorrow night at Del City High School, the Oklahoma City Twisters open their inaugural season playing an exhibition against the Moscow Bears. The Soviet team is new at football. The squad has lost both of its games by a combined score of 103-0. John Ralston, former college and pro coach, says the Soviets still lack the basics.
Learning to strike a blow. We always talk about a football player knowing how to hit with his shoulder pads, much like a boxer does with his fists. You have to bend your knees, coil the so-called levers in your body, and learn to strike. This is the biggest problem they're having.
Если мы будем учиться такими темпами,
if they have the opportunity to study, to learn this game with the help of Americans.
Я думаю, через год мы сможем нормально играть в Европе.
And he thinks that maybe in a year they can play much better.
Yeah, we certainly hope so. The richest racing weekend in the history of Remington Park coming up beginning tomorrow. Post time is 1 o'clock. I'm just kidding. Today in the feature race, Signature of Love took honors and paid $8 to win. The pick 6, 10-10, 1-2-6-10, one winner, $9,475. You see the attendance in the handle. Fairgrounds tonight, the State Fairgrounds Speedway. The factory stock's running tonight as they do every Friday night. Eugene Whalen loses his bumper and kind of gets turned around here. And somebody later on lost a right rear wheel. Try saying that quickly or even slowly for that matter. The driver who lost the wheel is in car number 32, Shannon Casey. He finished the race. There's the trophy girl. Now it's on to the super modified A feature. Number 24, Kyle Forsyth of Oklahoma City took honors there. All of that every Friday night at the fairgrounds.
Stuff going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Busy night.
Hey, but Lindell took what, 3 or 4 weeks?
Oh, he took like a couple
grass?
of months trying to get ready for
Still
it.
didn't do it.
Disappointment.
It's too bad. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. Still to come, you have to see it to believe it.
A lawnmower that doesn't cut grass but loops and turns instead. Stay with us.
This is America's best-selling minivan 6 years running, Plymouth Voyager. It actually costs a lot less than Chevy Lumina. And Voyager front-end visibility makes parking easy. With Lumina, you might want something to help you see where the front end is. Otherwise, parking could be an adventure. No wonder Voyager outsells Lumina 4-1. Advantage Plymouth.
Come to our annual independence sale at Johnson's of Kingfisher and Chickasha, your Dodge Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Remember, you're well paid, better trained, and you work at Texaco's new Star Mart, where your job is to make the customer the star. Sure, we deliver big with America's favorite foods and drinks, even a customer satisfaction guarantee. We want people to count on Star Mart.
Texaco's Star Mart. You are the star wherever we are.
Remember, Star Mart isn't where people have to stop. It's where they want to stop.
Everything's on sale right now during the grand opening of our Edmond BNC carpet location. And it's our 32nd anniversary, so we're having a store-wide sale at all 3 locations. This includes Zeftron nylon carpet from Queen Carpet Mill. Looks great, wears long, and resists most common food and beverage stains. And it's on sale. Everything's on sale. BNC carpet, giving you more for 32 years and celebrating with our Everything's on Sale sale. Price is good at all 3 BNC carpet locations, including our brand new store at Memorial and Broadway Extension.
Yes, Tracer is here. And to make room, Texas, Oklahoma, Lincoln Mercury dealers are evacuating inventory with factory-to-dealer cash. Save $1,550 on Topaz GS, $721 on Cougar LS, and $700 on Sable GS. Lincoln Mercury is making big deals now to make room for the new small Mercury Tracer.
Drive Oklahoma proud. See your Oklahoma Lincoln Mercury dealer.
When Tim Monday pulls his mower out on Saturday morning, probably the last thing on his mind is cutting grass. Instead, he's concentrating on cutting precision loops and turns. See, Tim's mower is a flying mower, a remote-controlled model to be exact. He flies the craft for the Green Bay Model Airplane Club, and as you can imagine, it draws some attention.
Everybody, so they can't believe that it flies. The first thing they ask is whether it flies or not, and I tell them, of course it does, and they're really impressed when they see it fly.
Tim says it took him 3 months to build the mower from scratch. He also does haircuts for neighborhood children.
It does.
No, I know.
It does loops and rolls even.
That's
Great.
what we all need.
I like that. Have a really great weekend.
Do indeed. Good night.
Men's clothes provided by Harold's. Newsline 9 is the #1 rated newscast in Oklahoma.